would say congratulations to Nathan Fillion for being cast as the Green Lantern, but we gotta talk about this costume. So now it's time for our featured story of the night in Comic Corner. All right. I don't know why I have Wolverine here. Something happened weird there, but whatever. So anyways, overall, I would tell you this. Green Lantern came out, released, there's like leaked photos of the Green Lantern of Nathan Fillion cast as him in the new Superman shoes. We're all seeing Hawkgirl as well. There's pictures of her. We're going to show that to you as well to show you what it's looking like. And everyone's on the buzz internet. People are hating on Superman's costume, of course. It's been a big thing. There's hate, there's love, but a lot of hate. And now people are asking, what about this guy right here? Guy Gardner right here, Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern. Now, Guy Gardner did have a bowl cut a lot of times in the comic books. He also did have like a flat top at some times. If we had Sean here, he'd probably go into a lot of lore about this, but I do say this. I've seen some pictures of his costume in the comics based off this. It is very accurate, I would say, but he looks like my uncle, like going to try to be a superhero on a Saturday night during Halloween. If you ask me, it's like Uncle Al out there being like, "Hey, I'm a superhero, and it's gonna be a fantastic night. You gotta get some bush light for me." I love Uncle Al. I love him so much.
I'm gonna tell Al you said that when I see him, Brian.
I mean, it looks like your uncle. It looks like your uncle going out. Which I love my Uncle Al. He's great, but he doesn't look like a superhero. Like it looks like a Halloween costume. You know, like a Halloween costume. And even like and Hawkgirl too. She looks great, but I mean, like, how much do you see like these plastics? I mean, whatever. They're flying. They're showing it. Mr. Terrific there too. But they're leaking. Of course, we're going to see more and more of these things. What the hell Jack Burton says? You want to see that one more time? Guy Gardner, everybody. Guy Gardner. I mean, it's an interesting choice, but I guess people are ripping on the Superman costume. I don't hate that much. But this is
Superman costume too. Honestly, though, like it's super passe too. It looks straight out of the 1983.
Yeah, it's kind of very similar. It doesn't have, we talked about this before, it does kind of have like a Guardians of the Galaxy type feel to it as well. But I just say, like, and Uncle Al, if you're watching, you could fucking rock that costume all day. Not trying to rip on you. I'm just trying to say that overall, this does not look like a superhero. But again, Guy Gardner isn't Hal Jordan. He's not. He is supposed to be like the cocky, kind of funny, over the top. Like, he's the whimsical kind of guy. I have some pictures here that show him like and stuff. But he's not the heartthrob Hal Jordan. He's like a different kind of Green Lantern. But I see this and I'm like, I think people are having some outrage on it. But people are like, oh yeah, it's comic accurate. Mike, you already have, like, I could tell already. Do you think this is going to be like something that people are going to be like hating on this movie before it even comes out because of the costume design?
It's really interesting to me, Brian, because like we get so much polish from these massive movies. Like we never get like 50-year-old men in windbreakers, which is what I think that the audience is honestly clamoring for.
That's what they want, man.
I mean, I do mean that to a degree because the culture is so saturated with everything being hyper cool. Like it happened in the year like 2001 too, right? Like these are cycles that we go through as a culture. Like everything's so cool, so streamlined, like has neat, the costumes all have really neat like kind of textures, and then just give us something goofy. Like and like you said, I don't know that much about Guy Gardner, but if he's a more comedic style of space cop, then yeah, I think there's no more comedic overwear than a
Nathan Fillion.
Than a windbreaker worn by Nathan Fillion. Like that's hysterical. If I say Nathan Fillion wearing a windbreaker, like, do you think like, oh, that sucks, or do you think that's hysterical? Because I think that's great. I'm about it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that the other image, that GIF I showed too, it's like he was kind of joking and funny. And I think that as I read about Guy Gardner some more, and we have never really seen him in a big production like this, it might be perfect. It might be perfect. Of course, he's friends with James Gunn, so that makes sense too. But I love his acting. He's awesome. He's funny. So I think he's going to be fine playing this role. But I just think that it's interesting what they went with. I mean, it just seems like a different kind of costume.
Please, number one, please annihilate us in the comments. We like that. We appreciate that sincerely. And then number two, I think it is distinctive that they also went with a retro kind of look for Superman. Like,
Yeah.
That's what they're going for. They're going for gritty. They're not going for polish. So this is an aesthetic choice, not just somebody who's asleep at the wheel.
How you feeling about this, Trevor? Is this like tickle your innards when you see this? You excited about it? Does that tickle your geekdom? Or are you like, what the hell is happening?
I love Green Lantern. Green Lantern is my favorite. Guy Gardner is my least favorite Green Lantern, but I think casting Nathan Fillion in that role is brilliant. I think he's going to be great. From the set photos, I'm not really into that costume. I really like, Mike keeps referring to like the windbreaker or whatever, what was in the comic art that you showed on the screen while Mike. But honestly, I paid money for this, so I think this is a pretty low bar to clear. I think we'll be fine. Not this.
We're gonna be just fine.
It's gonna be fine. I don't really put a lot of stock in these on-set photos. This stuff always looks so much better when you actually see it anyway. Like I've seen people talking even that like even the Superman suit might not be what we actually see on screen by the time this is finished. So I'm just going to wait and see.
Yeah.
But I would love to see the original green windbreaker from the 80s. I do love that jacket.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, it seems like they're kind of updating it a little bit, making it a little different, but it's but still, it could be cool. It could be cool, but again, you're 100% right. This happens all the time where you see something on a set and then in post they do a lot of stuff, filters, things like that. They change it. Maybe they make it certain colors so when they're actually shooting it, and then hopefully it'll probably be digital, but if it was shot on film, it'll look a lot different on a film camera, So it's like what the perspective you get through the lens is a lot different than you get through your eyes. And
it might also just be one of a variety of costumes that we see also. It might not even be the only one.
That's true. That's very true. We have no idea when this takes place in the movie, what it is, like where the story is. So we have to wait and see. But people have been kind of going nuts about this a little bit. So costume does seem the same as one in the comics. Yeah, see, his costume does. A lot of hate on that Superman costume. They're like, fuck, a lot of hate. Okay, Jacob, what do you think, man? Is Guy Gardner making you excited about this Superman movie? Nathan Fillion, the man himself, rocking it out, making the new Green Lantern for the very first time in the new DCU? Or do you think that this is a sidestep, a misdirect for James Gunn and his new Superman feature coming out?
Well, first of all, I've stated this many times, and I'll state it again. James Gunn can do no wrong. Put your faith in James Gunn. And secondly, having had the pleasure of meeting and working with Nathan Fillion, who is an amazing human being as well as a gifted actor, he knew that I was a fanboy. He knows my taste in film because he's been in a few of them, and he appreciates that. He appreciates the fans. He appreciates that nerd universe. So it's not just James Gunn who does this, but you can tell by the people that he casts in his films, which also, is anyone honestly surprised that Nathan Fillion is in another James Gunn movie? He always shows up in James Gunn.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, they're like buddies. Yeah. In fact, that's what he told me. He even gave me some cool little stuff during the filming of Suicide Squad. He wouldn't give me any good details, but he kind of nudge and wink at me some cool things. He's like, you'll love it. You'll love it. And I absolutely loved it. So him being in this makes me love it even more already, and it hasn't come out. The retro look, I think that's fucking great because I definitely don't want a 2000 X-Men all unified, same matching outfits. Like, how fucking boring would that be? And let's be honest. I mean, like, yes, I know Man of Steel was a pretty cool movie and it was very stylish, but that Superman outfit was fucking garbage. And you know it. I think going back to the 80s and having Will Reeves in this, going back to that Christopher Reeves
there you go.
era Superman,
that speaks
I
volumes.
think that's very, very nice. I think it's a very nice touch, and it shows you who James Gunn is and where his passion lies. And also, anyone out there bitching and complaining about this, they can fuck off because they're not real nerds. Don't wear that. If you weren't bullied in fucking school, if you didn't read these fucking comics, if you didn't play these games, if you didn't jerk off to images of Lois Lane, go fuck yourself. Plain and fucking simple.
Nerd gatekeeping is a little rough. I don't know if
I am not nerd gatekeeping.
You are not wrong, Mike.
I am not gatekeeping. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just saying that there are people out there bitching and complaining about this that want to gatekeep. They have no fucking right to do so. Period.
Yeah.
And I'll say this again, and I'll leave it on this point. James Gunn can do no wrong. Yeah. And I will never eat my fucking words.
I believe in James Gunn to 100%, K. Jacob. And I know people are freaking going nuts about it because people are just worried about it because the DCU's been falling apart and now it's starting again. And so everyone just wants to be like, it's going to fail just because. But, you know, he got this job for a reason. Look, his track record, I think that he knows what he's doing. And I really do hope
his track
that...
record, exactly. Look what happened when Guardians 3 came out and how they were failing horribly in the Marvel Universe. And they can only pray that Deadpool saves them because James Gunn came back to do this as a solid. And then they're like, all right, come back into our... He's like, no, go fuck yourself. I'm in DC now. And he's going to do wonders for DC, and he's going to put them on the right track they need to be on, which is getting the fuck away from the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, anything is better than that.
Yeah.
And look, I like garbage, so you know I like Snyder films, but come on. Come on.
Which they're coming back to theaters, apparently, at least the Snyder Cut, Justice League, because that's what Zack Snyder announced today, too. So we're going to get more in theaters if you haven't seen the big Zack Snyder Justice League.
I watched that. It was a 4-hour thing. I watched it. It's already out. What do they mean coming back to theaters?
Well, he's going to put it out so you can see it like in full theater form one more time.
Yeah, the Snyder Cut was never in the theater.
But, I enjoy watching his movies, but not back to back.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long movie.
I think don't hate yourself that much.
Yeah.
It's still better. I think it's still better than the original Justice League. I think it is. So the Snyder Cut. So it's definitely better. But honestly, the Superman, everybody, calm down. Again, I'll say it, calm down. It's coming, and give it a breath. These leaks will be coming out more and more. We have no idea. All we see is what we see through our eyes, through someone's iPhone. It's not the same as through the camera. And again, I hope the best, and I think James Gunn has a plan for all this to work out, so we'll be very happy with the DCU moving forward. And if not, then we have to trust him. But if at the end of the day, this could all be sold off to Universal, because that is a rumor going around that Zazov's to sell the whole show off to Universal and might be rebooted again before you know it. But hopefully not. I hope that James Gunn's universe continues and we finally have the DC on track and eventually have that Marvel DC crossover, and that'd be fucking gold.